Part 4, which brings us to the Intercontinental Championship match. The build-up, which has been really fucking weird, man. Wouldn't you agree? Like, some of these segments with The Miz and Dean Ambrose have been kind of bizarre.
Yeah, a bit crazy, bizarre, but absolutely pathetic because of Dean Ambrose trying to ruin Miz and Maurice's relationship.
Yeah, that's kind of like a thing that's going on. And then, like, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel are involved. And there was the weird thing with, like, LeVar Ball and his sons.
That was a bit of a bizarre situation on that Miz TV segment.
Teddy bear suits. This has been one weird rivalry, man. But it's kind of cool because, like, when the Superstar shakeup happened and we saw that Dean Ambrose and The Miz were coming over to Raw, and then you started to see that they were feuding, you were like, well, we just saw this on SmackDown. Like, we don't want to see it again. But I feel like this one has been so different from the last one and really just different from anything that I've really ever seen in WWE. Like, this is a really fucking bizarre rivalry. I don't know, man. It's been fun, but it's just been weird.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to predict who will win this match, though, man. I mean, it's pretty much 4 against 1, right?
Yeah, like, you got Miz and Maurice and Miz's new Miztourage. Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas going to be out there with them.
You should put the camera on you when you talk.
Oh. So, I don't think it's that much hard to predict this. The Miz has full advantage. He's got Maurice and the Miztourage with him.
Yeah, like, I just don't see how Dean Ambrose is going to be able to beat these odds. What would be interesting is, you know, they have the dissension between Miz and Maurice. Like, what if there was a situation that came up where Miz had to choose between Maurice, the woman he loves, or his Intercontinental title and his Miztourage? Like, I think that would be an interesting way to go with it. Like, I don't know, man. Like, the way that the SmackDown rivalry between Miz and Maurice ended.
You mean Miz and Dean Ambrose?
Oh, Miz and Dean Ambrose, right. The way that the rivalry ended on SmackDown, it was kind of weird. And I feel like they could do something with this storyline. I just don't know what it would be. But definitely Miz is going to win.
Definitely Miz. Now, that pretty much brings us to the match with huge dream match ramifications.
It is. Even Jim Cornette himself said on Table for Three that this would be his dream match in WWE. I think a lot of people are really excited to see this. It is the Haas Showdown. Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar in a Haas-filled Haas-off.
For the WWE Universal Championship.
David Hasselhoff. I'm going to come up with more Haas puns.
Yeah. David Hasselhoff. Haas Goliath versus another Haas Goliath.
Barbecue Haas.
Yes.
Miso Hossie? I don't know. But anyways, so this match is really hard to predict because I feel like I've made it no secret. I'm a huge Samoa Joe guy now. I wasn't the biggest fan of Samoa Joe back in NXT, but ever since he come up on the main roster, the guy's been doing amazing shit. Like, his promos have been amazing. He even, like, what he did to Paul Heyman was crazy. It was, like, so intense. His sneak attack on Brock Lesnar. And it's really hard to tell, like, who's the face and who's the heel in this rivalry. Yeah. Because usually the heel is running away from the fight, and Samoa Joe is doing these heelish things, but he's also, like, looking for the fight. And he wants to beat Brock Lesnar. He's not scared to get in the ring with Brock Lesnar. I haven't seen anybody look this threatening to Brock Lesnar since, well, Goldberg. But even then, like, I was shocked with the whole Goldberg and Brock Lesnar thing. You know, we've talked about this before. I was not expecting that to go the way it did.
Yeah, you were really ticked off when Brock Lesnar lost that match at Survivor Series.
Well, you take a guy that's basically like destroyed everybody that he's faced off with since he came back in 2012. Or maybe was it 2012 that he came back?
Yeah.
So since he came back in 2012, he's fucking beat everybody. He beat the streak of The Undertaker. Like, the guy was seriously like on a whole different level. And then for Goldberg just to squash him, it just...
Yeah, broke the arms of legends like Mark Henry, Big Show,
H,
John Cena, Shawn Michaels.
Mr. McMahon, he beat up Mr. McMahon too, right? He like F5'd him or something.
Yeah, and that kind of injured Mr. McMahon, and that's what caused Triple H to come back.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't see any way that Brock Lesnar actually loses this match, but I think that Samoa Joe is going to put up one hell of a fight. Like, this is probably going to be the best Brock Lesnar match that we've seen in a long time. Like, maybe even since his rivalry with Undertaker. Like, they had some pretty decent matches. I think that this may even surpass that. I think that Samoa Joe is a perfect opponent for Brock Lesnar. Like, you really couldn't have two guys that are just more... It's hard to say, like, exactly what it is that's got me so excited about this match. But, God, man, I am. For once, I'm actually excited for a Brock Lesnar match, and I haven't been for a long time.
No kidding. This is like a dream clash that most fans thought that they never see, but we're actually going to get to see it at a pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm. So I've made my prediction. I'm predicting for Brock Lesnar to win, but he's not going to win in a convincing fashion like he did against Goldberg. He's gonna have to work for it. I don't think that Joe is going to go to Suplex City easily. Like, it's going to be a serious fight, man.
A serious bullfight.
And we may even see the Muscle Buster come back.
Maybe.
That would be cool.
So you're predicting Lesnar?
Yep.
As crazy as it is between these two Goliaths, I actually am too going to pick Brock Lesnar for this epic match. Because it's about time Samoa Joe gets introduced to Suplex City.
Yeah. I just don't see... Like, Samoa Joe may go to Suplex City, but it's going to be a hard road. It's going to be a hard road to Suplex City. I don't think it's going to be like John Cena and Brock Lesnar, where John Cena would just, like, always get his ass kicked by Brock Lesnar. Even that time that he won, he, like, got beaten, like, half to death.
Yeah. No kidding.
I'm really actually looking forward to this match. I'm really looking forward to this pay-per-view, man. I think that it has a lot of potential to be a good show. Of course, so did Money in the Bank, and we saw that turned out.
Yeah. And speaking of WWE, what's your reaction to Austin Aries being released?
Well, so since I've heard about this, I've looked into it more, and it turns out that it was Austin Aries that asked for his release. He felt like he just wasn't getting where he wanted to be in WWE. I don't think he wanted to be a part of 205 Live, which he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be considered a cruiserweight. I think he's every bit as talented and entertaining as Finn Balor, and Finn Balor is cruiserweight size.
Yeah,
they're not putting him on 205 Live.
Yeah, they got him on the main roster with all the big guys.
I don't know, man. I'm sad because obviously, like, you know, there were a lot of matches that I wanted to see Austin Aries do in WWE. I think that an Austin Aries and Triple H rivalry would have been pretty cool. But we're never going to get to see it.
Yeah. And how about the shocker from last night? WWE had a live event in Madison Square Garden, and AJ Styles faced Kevin Owens for the United States Championship and won.
Yeah, I mean, that was a huge shock for sure, man. That just goes I think what that does is it solidifies the fact that anything can happen at a house show. Because, I mean, even though it wasn't Madison Square Garden, it wasn't a televised event. It was a house show. As a matter of fact, it was a Raw